Hello folks, this is Craig Lane with Health Alchemy YouTube channel and healthalchemy.com. My name is Craig Lane and we're finishing up our second little Teasel video, and this is the plant that you see on the screen. It'll appear on my left. It's actually on my right, kind of behind me in one of the raised beds we have here, and you can have a little brief. There's a little bit of a raised bed you can see there on my left side, and this was already on site when I moved in here a few months ago, and you can see this plant behind me is now 6 feet tall, and it has a lot of interesting properties we've spoken to a little bit earlier, but this is based on research. See, this plant, when you look up at it over here, over there, right? Hard to have a pointer here, and it's tall and it's producing a lot of legs, and it's really looks like an insect. And one of the things that, or the flower heads do, if you look over again up there on the flower heads up in there, you notice that they're insect looking like, and this is something that the plant reputedly has. I've already done a few tests with it, and it kicks Lyme and Epstein-Barr and what we'll call stealth pathogens, or what I call shape-shifting bugs, or cloaked or hidden bugs. This plant apparently helps get it out of the joints where they like to hang out, and out of the deeper, especially in the joint capsules, knees, shoulders, elbows, finger joints, you name it. There's a lot of mysterious pain coming. This is one of those plants that I think that we should all be looking at, because it's a wasteland plant. So let's try and get this in here a little more coherently. So this plant can help with a lot of pathogens, and it itself looks like a bug, so that should tell us something. The root is typically used. It's considered a yang tonic, and what's ironic is it's good for muscle pain and damaged bone tissue. When this plant dries over here, when it dries, it's brown and it stays upright, and that's a sign of a plant that might help the bones. And it really looks strong, and it feels strong, but it's also feminine, because in the water, these little things here, that they hold water and all that. So at the base of the flower head there's cups, chalices if you will, that hold water, so it's a very kind of an interesting masculine feminine balance. But in Chinese medicine, their version of it's considered a yang tonic. I'm going to say, yeah, let's look at this like potentially with comfrey, good plant for damaged connective tissue, especially if you're a vegan, vegetarian, not doing much bone tissue, bone broth and whatnot. The plant's a hermaphrodite. So again, before I knew anything about it, I kind of sensed it's balanced yin-yang, masculine, feminine. So it's a hermaphrodite, which means it's self-pollinating, and it's very close to the thistle family, and thistles are always good for the liver, always good for purification. And the reason why it's called Teasel, T-E-A-S-E-L, is they use it to tease the comb the cloth for the wool, so that's those sharp edges like Velcro. Another plant called burdock is the one they invented Velcro from, believe it or not, the guy did. So this plant kind of prefers clay soils. It doesn't like really good soils. It's in really nice soil, what I have here, but it's one of those plants that it'll do well. There's a little bit of clay in this soil. But I mean, wow, I've never seen one in nature that looked this magnificent. They're usually a straight up stalk like this, like my finger, with a few side branches. And if you notice this one, it's got the original terminal stalk is there all the way up, and then there's these side ones that are coming out now. And I've never seen it do this in nature, because I've never seen it in such healthy soil. So one report states that this herb helps antibiotics work better, which would be important, because I think it's a closet cleaner now that I'm seeing what its uses are. So if it cleans out the closets of all the stealth and pathogens, then it's of course it's gonna help antibiotics work better. Yeah, so it's gonna pull all that from the muscles and the tissues out into the circulation. They say it's helpful for a low appetite. I'm kind of checking out my cheat sheet here. Folk medicine, they did use it for cancer and warts and fistulas. So that would be internal use and potentially topical use of the tea. It's been considered helpful for jaundice, liver, gallbladder issues. It's like an inulin, so you can use it like a bitters. It has inulin, which is going to help blood sugar. So here's some of its properties or actions, since we've been focusing on actions too. It's astringent, so it's going to do this. Slow down bleeding, slow down diarrhea. It's diaphoretic, so it's going to bring, paradoxically, sage does that too. It's astringent, but it also brings energy out to the periphery for sweating. I wouldn't see that it's its main property, maybe in the flower. It's diuretic, so it's going to drain excessive water out of the body. It's stomach soothing, a digestant, and it's cleansing to the system via pulling toxins from the muscles and the bone, the joints. So I really wanted to spend a little more time on this one because it's just such a crazy, crazy herb that is worth talking about. And yeah, this is one that we're going to want to focus some time on this year in our plant medicine, personal plant medicine program, which is starting soon. And if you haven't heard anything about that, please go to my website, healthalchemy.com, or get a hold of me via my channel and ask to get signed up for the personal plant medicine program. Next Monday, June 11th, we're going to have a free talk, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time on a Google Hangout. So if you want to hear more about that and talk some herbs, you're welcome to do so. So this is Craig Lane finishing up with Teasel there in the background, and healthalchemy.com, Health Alchemy YouTube channel. This is our herbal tidbits, and really loving this plant, Teasel. Lots of good use. This is worth listening to a few times because you're going to see this plant out in the wasteland areas, and it's very, very useful, more than I ever dreamed. Signing out, folks.